Please silver. Please silver. Oh, I want silver. Yeah!
Hi.
Screw this game! We're done. We're done. Oh my god!
What is up everyone, this is Hayden Games back for another video, and today we're checking out more of the Ballad of the Hyperia Bandit story by G the Gamer. This has turned out to be a pretty interesting story overall when it comes to how G has represented the BAL characters in with his fanfic OC characters. So this has been a pretty interesting story so far. I've enjoyed some of the characters in here as well as the story overall. So let's carry on today. In the last part, okay, I kind of forgot, I know what generally happens, but I kind of forgot what happens at the start of it. Oh yeah, that's right. So Ava was talking with Calvin, one of the Harbingers, and yeah, she's in a little bit of a predicament when it comes to that. She has internal struggles. And then Zed spots her and Charlotte, and they were able to actually imprison Ava. So this is going to be interesting to see how it turns out when what Charlotte does here. But yeah, so let's carry on and reading this then. So link is down below in the description for G's channel as well as Craftronix's channel. You can go to Craftronix's YouTube channel, go to one of his videos, click on his Discord link, and you'll be able to access the server to read the story for yourself. And yeah, so that's it. Let's hit back into it. If we can hit like 5 likes on this video, great, appreciate it. As we check out more of the Ballad of the Hyperia Bandit. So let's carry on then without further ado. Alright, elsewhere, Charlotte sprints through the streets in a panic. She couldn't believe she was doing this. She hated the fact that she had to do this. She was supposed to be by Ava's side, yet here she was, abandoning her, running like a coward. But she knew she had no other choice. If both of them were caught, she knew they'd never taste freedom again. While she hated him with every bone in her body, she needed his help. The Harbingers were powerful, and if anyone would be able to stop a hunter and save Ava, it would be him. She descended to the abandoned lower levels of the city, took the secret entrance, and made a beeline straight for his office. She burst through the doors, almost tripping over herself, gasping for air. Calvin! She pauses when she realizes he is not there. In fact, the entire room is empty, almost as if he was never in Hyperia to begin with. Oh no. Of course, he was gone. She didn't know what she was thinking in coming here. She should have known Calvin would not come to save them. He'd just move on and find some other unfortunate soul to abuse for all they're worth. It was almost funny, you know, and all she could do was laugh. It was either that or cry. After she'd given so much up, here she was, all alone, with a powerful hunter after her, along with all of the Hyperia guards, facing life in prison, if not worse, all while being injured. Perfect. Just perfect. She turns to leave, her head hung low until she bumps into someone she doesn't immediately recognize. Okay. I thought we were in this together! Marco yells. Oh, little boy, okay. Is Marco saying all 3 of these lines? It's kind of hard to tell. You cheated me! I wanted my vengeance too, you know! Marco says, following his opportunities back to Zed. Maybe if you weren't so selfish, we could have defeated the 2 of them and ended this stupid mission. Marco snidely remarks. Oh, quit whining. What's done is done, Zed replies. I took down the main one, and her partner was injured, so she should be easy pickings. Yep, and it only came down to hundreds of dollars worth of property damage. Okay, that's funny. Also, if you do hear like a croak in my voice, it's because I'm coming off of a cold, so I might have a little bit of a raspy throat sometimes. So you might have heard that during my laugh there. Leo sarcastically adds, Zed turns to her with a sigh. Oh, not you two. It's not like the entire place was destroyed. They could easily be fixed. It could easily be fixed. That's probably what it could be. I know, but that's not the point, Leo explains. Many of those buildings in Hyperia Harbor have been there for generations, and are part of the city's and many families' history. I know you were just trying to help, but all that history and memories can't be fixed with money, Leo continues. Oh no. If there's one lesson that Master taught me that I swear by, it's that one should be cautious of the effects their abilities have on the world around them, both the human and the natural parts. However, despite her best efforts, her words went in one ear and out the other, and Zed was more than eager to change the topic. Anyway, I'm starving, Zed says. Are there any good places in this town to get something to eat? A throbbing pain. Oh, that's the next scene. Okay. There should be probably a gap in between there. A throbbing pain exploded through Ava's head. She came to. I'm gonna have to try and put a sound effect for that because, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. She cries. She flips up, holding her stomach. Every inch of her body ached. She was sure that she had to have broken something. It was only then that she noticed she was in a jail cell. How did she? Oh yeah, that's right. Zed had defeated her, and now she was behind bars, where she was going to most likely spend the rest of her life. She chuckles. What a tragic end for the Hydra Bandit. She leans back onto the cot she sat on, completely defeated. Maybe she really had bitten off more than she could chew. She just knew that if her parents could see her now, they would have been pissed, and they would have every right to. She was rebellious in her youth, always wanting to prove something to someone. She was ambitious, proud, and even a little bit flirtatious. Well, at least that hadn't changed. Yep. She remembers the days she would run out on the dock and wait for her father and elder brother to return. When they go out on their sometimes days-long fishing trips. And then when her brother left to join the guard, her father would take her along instead and taught her everything he knew. She learned every part of the ship from stem to stern, from how to rig the sails to even performing basic maintenance and repairs. Then there were her favourite memories, the times she and her father would sail out of Hyperia and out to islands to take part in the regatta, and she loved every second of it. Okay. The rush of the wind through her hair, the tricky maneuvers to be vying for top positions. Okay. I was just double checking to see if that was actually a word. Yeah, okay, yep, that's fair. The push to get your boat to go faster and faster, the tight-knit nature, and the camaraderie about the racing community. Boat racing was what she lived for, and every spare minute she got, she'd been out on the old sailor trying her best to beat her last record. But alas, as with most things in life, nothing works out exactly as you want to, does it? Yeah. I can relate for some of that. Her parents were getting down in age, and wanted her to take over the family business. To them, her racing was nothing more than a hobby, nothing she could seriously make a living off, right? She never won a single regatta yet. She tried to protest, but her parents disagreed, and they forbade her from using the family boat for anything else but fishing. They said they only wanted the best for her, a stable, realistic job, not some fantasy of grandeur. However, dear Ava wasn't just going to sit still. Once the time came around for the next regatta, she snuck out, stole a boat, and sailed off into the night. She managed to win that year's regatta and earn the $500,000 cash prize, even though she knew her parents would never forgive her, nor would they ever understand. She still tried. She returned the boat and left behind $400,000 of a reward. She knew that would be enough to keep them financially stable for a few years. Before she left for good, she left behind a note. Dear Mom and Dad, I didn't want to leave without saying anything. Well, I guess writing anything. But I want you to know that I understand, just want what is best for me. And I love you for that. But this gal has big dreams and ambitions. One that I know you wouldn't entirely approve of. So I did all I could do to make it happen. And to strike it out on my own. I'm sorry I couldn't be the daughter you wanted. But so is life, isn't it? I won this year's regatta. And I left 400,000 of it for you guys. I couldn't just leave you stranded. You don't deserve that. And once I win next year's regatta, I'll drop off some more funds. This isn't a goodbye. It's an until we meet again. From next year's regatta champion, love, Ava. Damn. That is actually kind of sad. But also at the same time, like, obviously, if this was realistic, then yeah, that they would easily freaking do a in for it. But, although, actually, no, there has been some cases in fiction where, yeah, that still doesn't even work. Like, even if you, because money would be seen as, like, a bribery, so, yeah. But, yeah. From there, Ava used what money she had left to buy a janky old boat and fixed her up until she became a proper racing vessel. She stuck true to her words, and every year she sent her parents money to keep them going. That was until during an especially daring trip she was on. She struck and sunk another vessel. And that same boat just so happened to be the owner of the 5th harbinger of the Crimson Embers, Calvin. Oh, no. Okay. So that's why she is under Calvin's wing. Okay. After the accident, she was captured. A crime of this level against a harbinger isn't taken so lightly, and she was handed an ultimatum. Either join the organization and work to pay off the damage she caused, or her home and family will suffer the consequences. Yep, that's why they've got the blackmail over her. Yeah. So she took the deal and jumped head first in to make sure she made back all that money, no matter what. She couldn't let her family suffer for her foolishness. As a result, she was put under rapid, forcible aura training and was given a Hydro Aegis to go along with her creator-type aura. They thought hydromancy would go well with her main maritime affairs. Oh, okay. Calvin brimmed down her neck for his money, and that was the last thing she wanted. So she dropped her morals and turned to a life of piracy. However, she did try to justify her actions so she could sleep comfortably at night. She always told herself that the rich have more than enough money, so losing a few thousand wouldn't affect them at all, would it? Besides, she always took a good amount to keep herself going. Her family at home funded, and to help the downtrodden folk in the underbelly of Hyperia. Sometimes to do a little good, you have to be the bad guy. She even held to the rules that she couldn't kill anyone. She wasn't the bad guy, right? And then there was Charlotte, her loyal crewmate and her closest friend and confidant. The story of how those two met, now that was a story to be told. She remembered it just like it was yesterday. It was almost 10 years ago. I'll probably put a sound effect for that. The loud bang startled her, and she flew off her cot and hit the ground for fun. Oh, damn. How about you give me a warning next time, would you? Ava complains, glaring at him as she pulled herself up. But it didn't faze him, and he glared right back at her before he turned to his left. Oh, it's Apollo! Oh my god. This is her right, sir. We threw in here until you were ready. An elderly man with a long grey beard wearing blue and gold robes strode up the cell, wide-eyed. Straight up to the cell. Wide-eyed at the sight of Ava behind the bars. That one could probably be changed up a little bit. This was Apollo, the town leader of Hyperia. Oh boy. My god, they actually got her, Apollo chuckles. The ever-elusive Hydro Bandit behind bars. Ah, you're going to be here for a long time. Ah, that's sweet, Ava replies with a sly smile to Ross, fixing her hair. But while I'd love to stay here and trade insults, there are better things I could be doing right now. So, she pulls out her right arm to, like normal, to collect energy in her palm, then launches a hand forward, prepared to tie them up in an aura rope. But nothing happens. Huh? Ava says, shocked. Technical difficulties, folks. Just give me a quick second, she continues with a nervous chuckle. She repeated the motion and again nothing happened. Oh no. Apollo laughs. This is an aura suppressant cell, so I'm sorry to say your tricks won't work in there. Apollo then takes something out of the guard's hand and shows it to her Hydro Aegis. And just in case you thought of using magic, the guard thought it'd be best to relieve you of this as well. The sly smile fell from Ava's face, first being replaced with shock and then despair. Oh. Ava replies, averting her gaze to the floor. She had almost completely forgotten where she was. You've been nothing but a menace to our town for months. You better pray the courts have mercy on you, because if I had my way, you'd be strung up. Apollo threatens. Ava doesn't respond or react to his threats. Seeing no purpose in any further conversation, both men make their leave. As a single tear rolls down her cheek as she lets out a soft chuckle. Mercy. On me. Imagine that. Damn. Okay. Oh, there's a lot here. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Because I was going to do like maybe another 5 minutes, but I'm going to leave it there because there's a lot going on. I did see, we finally have, Ariana. I looked at the name, I couldn't remember off the top of my head, sorry. But, okay, so she's going to be in the next part. But yeah, so I'm going to leave it here though. I know I didn't get a major amount read. But I wanted to also just... It seems like a good place to leave it off at. And kind of... This was also kind of a sadder part, I'm not going to lie. I'm probably going to end up using this, and then... Yeah, I'm probably just going to use the jail things for the thumbnail. But, yeah. This was on... It does give a lot more context on Ava and what she did to end up into the position that she is in right now. And yeah, honestly, it is quite sad. Like, you definitely did a good job at like making it, at putting more good. I don't want to say good, but like giving her a decent reason to do what she does. Like kind of like the bandits in canon. Like they were just rejected into like the orphanage, and they had to become bandits through that way because they just, well, Jet was just lost in the shuffle somewhere, so he had nothing. Atreus was just rejected by his family and he ended up with nothing. Bob was just absolutely abandoned, so with what happened with them, they have enough reason to become bandits in order to survive. And Ava, it was pretty much, I would say, like her own actions was what caused her own sort of, it was just very bad luck that she ended up with because of striking the Harbinger's boat. Yeah, she just ended up in a situation that's just not great for her. So it's a bit of a shorter reaction today, but I didn't want to really carry it on because of the news scene. So we'll save the next scene for the next video. And yeah, hope you enjoyed me reading this part today. If you did, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you are new, make sure to find Twitch, link is down below in the description. The links to G's channel as well as Craftronix's channel will also be down in the description, make sure to check them out. you can check out Craftronix's channel to click on one of his videos and access his Discord link so you can read the story for yourself if you're wanting to check it out for yourself. And yeah, I will see you in the next video or my stream. Goodbye.